You're watching Video Vocab by BusinessEnglishPod.com.
This episode of Video Vocab is part 2 in our series about the planning process. Today we'll examine the implementation and review of a plan.
Good planning means nothing without effective implementation. Implementing a plan begins with an effective communication strategy. People within the organization need to know what the plan is, what is expected of them, and how the plan will make a difference. To execute a plan, organizations need to appoint project managers who will monitor the implementation. Project managers need to track progress and hold people accountable for the tasks assigned to them. This may involve the use of project management software with project dashboards, which keeps managers constantly updated on project developments. Still, things can and do go wrong. Managers must be ready with contingency plans in the event that things go off track, over time, or over budget. There are several tools planners can use to improve plan implementation and processes. Six Sigma is a method that allows organizations to make measurable improvements in quality and outcomes.
Now let's look at these concepts in more detail with some definitions and examples. Implementation.
Implementation.
Implementation refers to putting a plan into action. The implementation phase must be managed very carefully, often by project managers, to ensure that everything stays on track and that activities are properly coordinated.
As the lead project manager, I was responsible for all aspects of the plan's implementation.
Communication strategy.
Communication strategy.
Organizations need communication strategies to make sure that everyone knows what they need to know, both inside and outside the organization.
Many employees didn't know a thing about the plan because there was no effective communication strategy.
Monitor.
Monitor.
When we monitor something, we watch it to see how it is progressing. Monitoring happens at all stages of the planning process, allowing managers to make adjustments if necessary. Gerald didn't monitor the project very closely, so he was quite surprised to learn we were so far behind schedule. Track progress.
Track progress.
Tracking progress means checking to make sure that tasks and activities are going according to the plan. It also means keeping a record of what has been done so that others can see what a plan's status is.
The CEO hired a consultant to track progress of the strategic plan.
Accountable.
Accountable.
If you are accountable for something, it means you are responsible for making sure it is done. We often use the expression hold someone accountable when we make sure people understand, accept and follow through on their responsibilities.
Although I delegated tasks to the right people, my plan failed because I didn't hold anyone accountable for their activities.
Project dashboards.
Project dashboards.
Project management software usually features a project dashboard that shows charts, graphs and notes on the status of a project. This allows managers to monitor projects and keep them on track.
Every morning, I log onto the project dashboard to see the progress on all the projects in my department.
Contingency plan.
Contingency plan.
When things don't happen according to plan, we turn to contingency plans. A contingency plan dictates what we do in certain undesirable or unplanned circumstances.
We need a contingency plan to deal with any unexpected events.
Off track.
Off track.
If a plan or project doesn't proceed as expected, we say that it is off track. The opposite expression, on track, means that a plan is going as expected. When the software project got off track, Brianne called a meeting to see how the timeline had to be adjusted. Six Sigma.
Six Sigma.
Six Sigma is a methodology that aims to reduce problems, mistakes, and variations in a process. Implementing a Six Sigma approach can improve the quality of a project's outputs by carefully monitoring the entire process.
The hospital employed a Six Sigma approach in order to reduce the rate of surgical infections.
Measurable.
Measurable.
If something is measurable, it means we can quantify it with numbers, figures, or statistics. We often use measurable results to refer to outcomes that can be quantified.
When asked for a measurable outcome, I told the board that sales had increased by 12% in the third quarter.
Now it's your turn to practice some of the words we have studied in this episode. You'll hear a series of sentences with a word replaced with a beep. Repeat the whole sentence, including the missing word. For example, if you hear,
Every morning, I log onto the project to see the progress on all the projects in my department.
you should say,
Every morning, I log onto the project dashboard to see the progress on all the projects in my department.
We'll play an example answer after each question. Ready? Let's give it a go.
A 44% improvement in customer satisfaction was one result of the plan to improve customer service. Answer. A 44% improvement in customer satisfaction was one measurable result of the plan to improve customer service.
Even when I'm on vacation, I can track on my projects with my iPhone. Answer. Even when I'm on vacation, I can track progress on my projects with my iPhone.
As part of our communication, I emailed details of the plan to all departments. Answer. As part of our communication strategy, I emailed details of the plan to all departments.
A specialist in 6 methods was hired to reduce the number of manufacturing defects. Answer. A specialist in 6 Sigma methods was hired to reduce the number of manufacturing defects.
That's it for this episode of Video Vocab. Be sure to check out our new website at www.videovocab.tv to watch and download lots more videos on Business English.